So it's been a week since I last posted that video of me pruning that rose. Life gets in the way, you know how it is. We are part-time gardeners, all right? Remember that, we are part-time gardeners. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue working on providing some supports using these eye hooks. So I use these eye hooks right here. I drill them into either concrete using a concrete bit, drill bit, or wood, just using a regular drill bit. Let's see. So for concrete, I'm using a much larger eye hook, all right? And for wood or timber, I'm going to use these smaller eye hooks. These are Everbuilt screw eyes, number 208. It's a 50 pack. And I think the item number is 729648. So yeah, I'm going to use these for timber and the larger ones for the concrete. So previously, I used the eye hooks in this fashion, all right? I had them drilled into the side of the timber, okay, of this arbor, and I stringed across some metal twine, is what I'm gonna call it, from the arbor to the brick facade of the house. It's been several years, and this one has popped out, and I have since not replaced it or repaired it, obviously. So it looks really shabby. So I'm gonna abandon that approach, and I'm gonna leave those eye hooks in. There's one down here as well. So I'll leave those there, and I'll just get some zip ties and tie the rose to that eye hook. And along the way, I'll just put eye hooks wherever I want to direct the growth of the rose. All right. See, this baby's putting out blooms after the hard prune I gave it last week. Look at that. Amazing. They are such resilient plants. Let that go. So with this cane, I'm going to go ahead and drill a hole on the top of this plank and adhere it. All right, it's kind of dark, but here's the transplanted sedum over by this stump, this holly stump. All right, Give that a year or two and it will fill in real nicely. And by that time, this juniper should cover that stump as well. So I went over here to be pretty much a no fuss area. Low water needs. And, you know, all the while still being aesthetically pleasing. Right here, you've got this Pugster White butterfly bush. And right there is a rose of shallot, David Austin rose. I do need to do some deadheading, but as you can see, she is quite floriferous, the Lady of Shallot. There's a rose that is about to open. Beautiful. All right, so let me go ahead and water this area in and continue on with the transplanting. I think the bottom area has enough coneflowers. I'll probably cut back one or two of these and plug in the open spots down there on the other end of the bed. So here's the end result. So at this corner of the house, I have the Lady of Shallot David Austin rose. That gets to be 3 times its size, followed by the white Pugster, the Pugster White butterfly bush. Underneath is this prostrated juniper. It's a blue mound juniper. It gets to be roughly 8 to 12 inches tall and an indeterminate length. So it's gonna cover this holly stump right here in the front. All right, and I really want this area to upscale or try to upscale the utility boxes and stuff that's here. So here are the 3 transplanted sedum. All right, I made sure to water them in very deeply, and they should take off and fill in that area within the next 2 years. Next up is the diamond crepe myrtle, right, with the beautiful dark foliage. I had to cut the red twig dogwood back a little bit. As you can see back here, I want that crepe myrtle to kind of fill out that area. This red twig dogwood is a monster, let me tell you. It has white coverings on the leaves because I treated it last week with diatomaceous earth. These little white worms were, decimating the leaves, the foliage. Since we've got rains and such, it pretty much washed it off. Now right here is where I removed all of those sedum that you see up on the top end of the bed and replaced it with a few of the transplanted coneflower from the top of the bed. So those all have been planted, trimmed back, watered in deeply. Next up is this rose, this generous gardener rose. Now I was able to take one of the canes and adhere it to the facade of the house, into the brick, using those eye hooks. So we should get a nice display of roses on that arcing cane right there. Coming back a little bit here, we have, in the front, you notice I've cut back several of those canes. Those should put out laterals and should be a shower of blooms. So right here, I went ahead and adhered 2 of the lower canes, which were long enough. I adhered it to this piece of the fence. All right, and they're low enough where we'll be able to get flowers lower on the shrub. All right, I just used zip ties, the eye hooks and the zip ties. So it receives enough sunlight, it should leaf out, and in the autumn we should get flowers all along these canes. All right, that one here has been adhered to the top of the fence, as you can see. And this eye hook right here, that's a new eye hook. I adhered that cane to, and on the other end of the post, other side of the post rather, is another eye hook. And I was sure to make sure that we had enough clearance to open and close the gate. All right, so it's unobstructed. We should enjoy flowers at the top of that. That should be a nice look. So yeah, finally buttoned up this job. That area back there will fill in on the red twig dogwood. I had to cut back a lot of canes back there because it was a little too congested.